Hey yo, fellow Autobots, Decepticons, Transfans, Legonians, and Decepticons. This is Dave Frost reporting once again with another Transformer action figure review. And this time, it is of the Transformer Generations Combiner Wars Superion Combiner action figure. As you may notice, it is made up of 6 aerial bots / Autobots, but the 6th member only forms a weapon, as the rest of them form the body of the combiner figure, Superion. Now, I already have reviewed Silverbolt, Skydive, and Power Glide, but I am going to now review Air Raid, Quickslinger, and Firefly, but I'm going to do it in a way where I pair up Skydive with Air Raid, and I also pair up Quickslinger with Firefly, and then at the end, I'll review the big combiner character, Superion. And it's gonna be over a span of 3 days, but I'm going to skip tomorrow for personal reasons. Now, you see the front of the box, but one thing to notice is that Superion is here, but behind him is the planet Cybertron. So he's not on Cybertron, but he's more to the point in the atmosphere of the planet. In outer space, more specifically. So like I said, this is the front of the box. Here is the top, where it shows each of the characters in robot mode, as well as what scale of class they are of. Silverbolt being a Voyager class, Quickslinger, Firefly, Skydive, and Air Raid being of Deluxe class, and then Power Glide being of Legends class. Then we have here the left side of the box, which is half blank, half just copyright information, as well as the barcode of when you want to purchase the product. Turn it around, we come to the right side of the box, which is just the same artwork, or a portion of the same artwork that we get on the front. The bottom just has the title Combiner Wars. The title Combiner Wars. And here is the back of the box, which shows Superion complete, but obviously the figure would not be this tall, as there is space below the figure, and they just blew up the image, if you will, of the figure. To the side, we have the robot and vehicle modes of each character. Silverbolt being the commander, who has 16 steps. Quickslinger and Firefly have 9 steps. Skydive and Air Raid have 11 steps. And Power Glide has 10. That's just how many steps it takes to transform them from vehicle mode to robot mode and back to vehicle mode. And then there's the description. Sorry for that unnecessary pause there. Here's the description. Superion is driven by one thing and one thing only. A desire to obliterate the enemy. He attacks Decepticons on the ground or in the air with all-out force. Next, we get this big envelope which includes 3 things. 1, a poster of the first version of Superion, where the aerial bots are the same exact mold for their body, but in different colors. So that's how it's differed between the 2 versions, is the difference in color. And then there's one other thing to note of the difference, is that it includes Alpha Bravo instead of Quickslinger. For Alpha Bravo came out in the first wave of Combiner Wars instead of Quickslinger. Quickslinger you could just purchase online for some price later on, but that was like last year or so ago. And you notice that the aerial bots are taking off from an aircraft carrier, and the Autobot logo is smoky behind, made up by smoke and light in the background by Superion. One thing I just noticed, this missile right here has a Decepticon logo, and then it says to punish and enslave, which is the motto of Barricade from Transformers, the 2007 live-action movie. But enough jibber-jabber, let's move on. So next we have the a sheet of paper that just shows the instruction manual. Well, that's what the sheet of paper is. It's just the instruction manual that shows the instructions how to transform the aerial bots from vehicle mode to robot mode. And then you would reverse the steps to get them back into robot mode. So that is the front side of this instruction manual. On the back, you get the instructions on how to transform them from robot mode to vehicle mode, and then power glide from vehicle mode to no, not robot mode, to combination mode. And where you would insert 2 of them to be legs, 2 of them to be arms, and power glide to be the weapon and where you place him at. And then there's one last thing in this envelope. It is the card, which is the same artwork as we got on the box. And then on the back it just says Transformers Generations, as it is a part of the current toy line of action figures. So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to do the review of Air Raid in comparison with Skydive, because they're not the exact same jet, but they do have similarities of their robot and vehicle modes, so they're practically of the same mold, one way or another. So, this is Air Raid, and this is Skydive. Now, they share the same weapon, just in different colors. And believe me, I am not confusing it for each other. Where Skydive is silver, he gets the blue weapon. And Air Raid is blue, he gets the gray weapon. And they do get the same hand-foot gun, so it's pretty easy to mix them up. But then again, who really cares about them getting each other's weapon? They're just the same piece. But there is a way to identify them from each other. Where Airy gets the blue hinged. It's the hinge at the thumb. So Airy gets the blue hinged handfoot gun. As... You know what? I think I got them mixed up. Airy gets the white hinged handfoot gun. And Skydive gets the blue. Because if you notice, Skydive doesn't have any white on him where Airy does. So I don't need to go through how to transform the characters, for I already did that in the earlier Skydive review. But one thing I did not notice about Skydive is that for vehicle mode, the wings are back here. And the arms are down here. But to transform him to robot mode, you have to swing at the hinge. You have to swing up the arms so that they're in this position with the shoulders in their correct place. That was my accident for some certain amount of time having the Airy figure, where the wings were mistakenly this far up, where that does not make sense, because they go past the body into the cockpit. So that was a mistake I had. One other thing about it is that there's this plated peg coming out of the leg and goes into this slot right here on the arm. So that's how I figured that out. So if you notice, I transformed Skydive and Air Raid to robot mode. And then I also brought in the first version by description of color, or display of the color, of Skydive. So this version of Skydive has black and red and gray, where this version has blue and silver. And another way of identifying the difference is that the first version of Skydive has the Autobot logo right here on this on his shoulder in silver and red. That was Generation 1. But then the aerial bots were brought back in Generation 2. So the Autobot logo has changed over time to where it's now Optimus Prime head looking in that shape with the eyes, the head crest, the side horns, and or side antennas, and the battle mask, or the faceplate, if it were, as it were, actually. And then it comes, so it comes in that shape, and then it comes in the red and yellow colors. So there's really not much to say here. Because it's really the same figure, just with a different head sculpt. So this is Air Raid's head sculpt. Where it's more box-ish. With blue eyes. And then it comes in the white and silver colors. And same as Skydive, there's 360 head rotation and not very much head or neck bendage, as it were, when tilting the head up and down. So, I have no need to go into combination mode now, but I will in the third video coming Friday. So you can really tell the difference between the two figures. To where there are more upward slants for the engine intake on the shoulders of Skydive, to where Air Raid does not. And then Air Raid has these inserts on his chest, where Skydive does not. The legs are practically the same of the engine intakes, as you see there on the bottom. And even the shoulders at the top of the arms are different as well. By the form of the engine intake on the sides. So, the engine intake for the sides of Air Raid and Skydive are different because they're on Skydive, they're between the collarbone, well, not really the collarbone, but the top of the body and the shoulders, where they're just on the shoulders for Air Raid. Another difference is by the vehicle mode, where the cockpit is more top of a pyramid type of thing. In the center, so they go inward like that, just more slimmed. And Skydive's cockpit is more curvy. Then the wings are different. Wide, where Skydive is like more at angle with guns underneath, towards the middle, and then on the sides. And then Air Raids are more elongated and wider. And they don't go in the center like that, like they would for Skydive. They just go lower down. Lower, or more towards the back, I should say. And then the missiles are underneath the base of the wing area, but not specifically on the wing itself. The other difference is that not just by... Sorry for the dog barking in the background. The appearance is different between the two versions of the aerial bots by color and also by display of insignias, where I already explained the insignia of Generation 1 and 2 versions of the aerial bots, but now, Generation 2 wise, the aerial bots also have racing numbers and racing flag shapes on their wings. And it goes the same for their tail wings, tail fins on the back of the vehicle, where it's like the same display. And that's really all about it. So I thank you all for watching. Have a great night. Have a good rest of your week. And please stick around for more great LEGO and Transformer content coming to the future of this channel. And I will see you all next time.